Yes, Melissa, it's lovely to be with you here at the Toy Fair in 2020.
I'm here with Tony Bugg. He is the Managing Director of Licensing International, formerly LIMA, and also Bugg Marketing Solutions. Thanks for joining us today, Tony.
Wonderful to be here.
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
Well, I just wanted to have a quick chat to you about Toy Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing you at Toy Fair now this is my 9th year. So I see you here every year.
40 years here, probably.
How many years?
30 years,
30
probably.
years.
Yeah. Long time.
At Toy Fair. So what brings you to Toy Fair?
My main reason for being at Toy Fair these days is for the licensing fraternity. So we represent Licensing International here in Australia, which is very similar to the Australian Toy Association, but for brands. So we help connect people to brands, to deals that sometimes they're involving toys, but often other categories of stationery or publishing, fashion, homewares, etc., etc. So you see behind us is Emoji, which is a current global brand that's doing wonderful things all around the world. So yeah, my main reason for being here these days is for the licensing part of things.
And has that changed over the year, what you've been doing at the fair, sort of what your different roles?
Well, I was involved with the toy industry for many years, but yes, it has evolved and I've become more specialised in the licensing field. They're all interconnected, but yeah, very much looking at more brand-based collateral these days than specifically toys.
And you create a space here at the fair for all of the licensing people to have meetings as well, don't you, so that they can coordinate?
Yeah, so we run our licensing lounge here every year at the show. And it's complimentary to our members. So for 2 or 3 days of the show, we're generally pretty well fully booked on this lounge. And it's where the licensing industry conduct their business, write deals, talk about brands, how they can associate them with toy products or other categories. It's a perfect opportunity for the whole industry to come together.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great opportunity for us. We have a lot of licensed brands, and we get to meet with a lot of our licensors here and talk about it, and it gives them an opportunity to look at the product range as well. So we really appreciate it too. So what does an average day here at the fair look like for you?
So an average day at the fair is generally we spend most of our time talking with our members and connecting them, networking with them and making sure that they're meeting with all of the right people. It's really just providing that tailored service to them that allows them to head their businesses in the right direction.
You enjoy stopping by at the U Games Australia stand every now and then?
Yes, we keep a little eye on what's going on with university games these days.
Yeah, excellent. And I suppose you get to see a lot of different brands and you get to have a little bit of a look around the fair. Are there any particular trends that you're seeing coming through this year in 2020?
Yeah, I would say the undeniable trend that's happening around the world, I think in all industries now, is sustainability.
Yeah.
So recycling, I think you may or may not have seen, Head Start recently introduced a new range of plush toys called Resoftables, which is a fully recyclable product, including the packaging, the plush, the insert, the whole 9 yards. So that's certainly probably one of the most obvious trends that's going on in the market. The other trend is the complete reorganisation of retail, which is happening in every market now. And I think everybody can see that. I think for many years there were a lot of countries around the world that were probably overrepresented in retail space. So whether this is a correction or whether it's something that will continue to gather pace, I don't think anybody really knows or understands that yet, but certainly there's a reconnection going on there. I think the other trend that is becoming very obvious with what's going on with retail is that companies and brands that seek to develop or grow a business will ultimately need to have a connection directly with the consumer if they're going to stay relevant in the market. So, as retail changes and shelf space becomes less available, you'll need to be dealing directly with the consumer.
And I guess that's talking a lot about the digital side of things as well, which is why we're doing a lot of videos and we want to talk to a lot of people about the industry and just making sure that our brands and our products are connecting with everybody out there. So a lot of licensing companies would be looking perhaps for people who are bringing a bit of sustainability into their products?
Yeah, I think so. The licensing industry is like the toy industry, is changing dramatically. The way the industry applies brands and licenses now is very different to what it was 10 or 15 years ago. So there's companies that use live entertainment to engage brands, experiential. There's a lot more collaboration going on between global brands to try and get more cut through. And because there are more brands in the marketplace now, it's more difficult to get a position in the marketplace. So you've got to be very skilled at how you go about it.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're hoping to see at the fair this year, or hoping to see from the exhibitors here?
Well, I think there's certainly the other area that probably needs a fair bit of consideration is innovation.
Yeah.
So I think for a long time now, whether it's the toy industry or the licensing industry, there's been a lot of sameness to it. If I go back to my early days in the industry, there were a lot of inventors around, a lot of innovation that went on both in toys and in licensing. I think we need more of that to be happening now and into the future, so that kids into the future get the opportunity to see new, innovative products, services, anything that can interact with a consumer, that it's not just the same products or the same licenses or the same brands all the time.
And just lastly, a little fun question. We want to know, everybody's sort of ended up in the toy industry here, obviously. What was their favourite toy or product as a child?
My favourite toy when I was a child was probably it was a game many moons ago. It was called Green Ghost.
Green Ghost.
Which was an illuminated board game.
Wow.
So that was probably one of my favourite toys, and probably Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. Okay, yeah. A good old classic there. Thank you very much, Tony Bugg, for talking to us today and giving us a little bit of an insight into the licensing industry here and what's going on at the Toy Fair.
Thanks, Mel. Thank you, viewers.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching and happy gaming. If you found this video helpful, go ahead, give it a like. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to our channel to make sure you're on top of the latest videos and content from your friends at UG Studios. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.